Hey everybody, Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. I'm just sitting here drinking my morning coffee in my robe, looking sexy as hell as usual. And I had a conversation the other day with my mother-in-law, and it reminded me of how much the average population is unaware of the amazing benefits of resistance training, both in just your health and your quality of life, and your overall chance of survival. So I'm just going to briefly cover that for people who are unaware of it, and I'm going to present my case as to why everybody should lift weights. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. All right, first of all, I'm just going to quickly cover the known health benefits of moderate to intense resistance training done regularly. And a lot of it has to do with the effect it has on hormone balance and insulin sensitivity and things. But first of all, if you regularly engage in resistance training, you reduce your chance of developing diabetes, type 2 diabetes. You'll reduce your chances of developing it by around 70% if you're genetically prone to it. Number two, we know that people who regularly engage in resistance training have better lipid profiles, they have better cholesterol profiles. They are therefore less likely to develop any sort of heart disease, to have heart attacks, and medical conditions relating to their cardiovascular system. You are less likely to develop cancer. And this comes back to, again, basic insulin sensitivity and understanding how resistance training affects that and the insulin sensitivity of cancer cells versus muscle and other tissues. We know that people who regularly weight train are 40 to 50% less likely to develop cancers later in life or even earlier in life. And if you've ever known anyone or had a family member who died of cancer, and I have, it's a pretty terrible way to die. Number four, bone density. If you resistance train regularly, it is the single lifestyle factor that will affect osteoporosis and bone density more than any other factor that you have direct control over. You are massively less likely to develop osteoporosis, and even if you do develop it later in life, you might hold it off another 5 to 10 years by having weight trained while you were young, or even continuing to weight train as you get older. And the bone density you get from it makes it less likely for you to break bones as a general rule, even right now. If you've been weightlifting for 6 months and you find yourself in a situation where you could get a broken bone, you're far less likely for the bone to actually break as a result of it. Number five, joint integrity. And particularly if you're on a balanced weight training program to where you have equal strength and opposing muscle groups, you're less likely to have joint aches and pains doing day-to-day life already. You're less likely to injure a joint doing other activities that could even just be part of your work or part of your hobbies or recreation. And you are far less likely to develop joint breakdowns and need hip replacements and knee replacements and things like that as you get older. So these are the five basic health reasons. The other things to consider is that if you weight lift, your metabolic rate goes up. It's the only form of exercise that really has a massive effect on your resting metabolic rate. Most exercise, you burn more calories while you're doing it, and then within a very short period of time, your metabolism returns back to where it was before you ever started exercising at all. And so there's not a lasting benefit. Resistance training builds muscle, it increases metabolism, and it does so in a way that is continual. Your metabolism is higher when you sleep. Therefore means that it is harder for you to gain body fat for a couple of reasons. One, you have to eat more calories than a person who doesn't lift weights or before you did when you lift weights to gain body fat. So it is harder for you to gain body fat. And it also makes it easier for you to lose body fat when you do gain it. And another thing to consider is that, again, due to the insulin sensitivity, people who regularly weight train very rarely under normal circumstances ever convert their dietary carbs into fat. Unless they're shoveling in massive amounts of them and way overfeeding them or something of that nature, they just don't convert carbs to fat. It doesn't really happen. Also the fact to consider that people who weight lift, their bodies are just tougher. And as a general rule, if you regularly weight lift, you are more likely to survive a gunshot. You're more likely to survive and recover from being hit by a car, falling down the stairs. You're just in general harder to kill. And then there's always just the strength factor to consider that just for general purposes, all around whether it's just at home or at your job or any sort of activity or anything that you can find yourself in, any situation, strong people are just generally more useful to themselves and others than people who are weaker. So that's my argument as to why everybody should weightlift. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.